How you doing, people? We're back at Morrisons. Just got ourselves a nice little hour and a halfer, £28.50. You know the drill. Gonna check in now and see where we're going. Didn't have to wait long, and our route has come in with one drop in Taunton, and then we're heading down to Wellington for the next two. Looks pretty straightforward for a 1.5 hour. It'll probably take roughly about that, especially if we include the trip back. So pretty standard route. Be interesting to see what the pay is for this one, seeing as we haven't gotten particularly lucky or unlucky. So yeah, this will be a good idea of what an average route kind of looks like and how much you're going to get paid for it. Always good to see as well. 14 bags. That's one trip into Morrisons and back. I don't have to double it up. When you get 29 bags, it's a bit of a nightmare, especially if the shop's busy and you have to get in and out twice through a sea of customers. Ugh, I hate it. All right then, we're all loaded up. I've got one order here, one order there, and the biggest order in the boot, 7 bags in the boot. Now, one thing I have noticed with my last few Morrisons blocks, I don't know if this is just this Morrisons getting lazy or what, but I'm getting all the right bags, as in the QR codes are right when I'm scanning them, but the helper stickers are not helping me anymore, because this order here, for example, is these 3 things, 2 bags and this. So why does the label say of 7, and I've got 5 of 7, 2 of 7, and 7 of 7. But in the Amazon app, this is correct. This is what I'm delivering. I've double checked, and the same kind of errors exist on all of my orders. They've all got the wrong number of bags, and in some cases, they've got 2 different words. So I can't even rely on these stickers anymore to help me load them into the car, keeping all the right bags together for each drop. So I have to stand there as I'm loading them in the car, cross-referencing the number with the number on the app, and I have to look at each order and do it that way. Really kind of annoying. I don't know who's to blame for that, if it's just Morrisons knowing that we can't scan the wrong bags anyway, so who cares if the helper stickers are wrong. I don't know what's going on, but kind of annoying, because that's wasted 10 minutes of time that I could have saved. Anyway, shall we go? It's another relatively nice day. There's a bit more cloud cover today than in my last video, but still got that kind of summer buzz. It's nice, really nice. Need to get some air on me. Problem is, right, I like to try and keep the vents off, especially when I stop and do a car, kind of like a FaceTime chat into the camera, because the camera picks up all of the wind noise from the vents. I think it's all right whilst we're driving though. I think the engine noise kind of covers it. So yeah, got the odometer reset so we can track this block properly. Like I said, I think this is going to be a good kind of block to look at what the average is like. Kicking off, mate, kicking off. For quite a few of my recent Morrisons videos, I've had quite good luck, and it's been a while since I've had a block that kind of really demonstrates that average kind of block. This one seems about right. 3 drops for the hour-and-a-half block. A little bit of distance, it's not too bad. We're only going out to Wellington, although we are going right to the end of Wellington and then back. But still, to me, this is an average kind of route. So let's track it, let's film it, and see how we do. Nice close drop for number 1, 2 miles away. And good to see that the rate increase we had a few months ago seems to be still going. All of the Morrisons blocks I'm seeing are at the new rate. It's not like there's a mix and some of them are at the old rate, some are at the new, like it is at the Exeter Logistics depot, where it's still seemingly random as to whether a block is priced at the old rate or the new rate. But with these Morrisons, they've kept that, I think it works out £19 an hour rate, because this is £28.50. 19 add 9.5, yeah, it's £28.50. So £19 an hour, it's a nice rate. Don't get me wrong, I don't feel like it's an overpayment in any way, considering where we get sent sometimes. The mileage on these Morrisons blocks can be pretty brutal sometimes, but yeah, good to see that increased rate hanging around, because certainly if you do these blocks regularly, even a small pay rise can make a big difference. Might have been inclined to stop and wait if I was that tractor driver, but you be on your way, mate. I'm sure you've got things to do. Earlier in the year, I was commenting on how the Morrisons blocks had gone from being this commodity gig job that I could just get every day easily. I used to get 2 Morrisons blocks every single day, and they contributed about half of my income from this job, with food delivery being the other half. And it was by far my favourite part of the day, doing these Amazon Morrisons blocks. And then come the new year, I think through a combination of mainly more drivers being onboarded, to be honest, the blocks became very hard to come by, and it still isn't back up to its original level. It is still rare that I get both blocks, but I can normally get 1 a day. And I also thought that the 2-hour blocks had disappeared, but they just seem to now be more of a special case kind of block, when they've got too many deliveries to cover with the normal blocks. The normal blocks are now both 1.5 hours. It used to be 1.5, and then the later one was always a 2 hour pretty much. But yeah, I mean, at least things are improving slightly. And honestly, any block I can get that saves me from having to put that time into food delivery is certainly welcomed by me. So just turning in now to drop number 1 before we head to Wellington for the other 2. Right then, first drop done. All of these traffic lights hate me apparently, but no worries, because even though we're going to a different town now for these next 2 drops, we're only 12 minutes away. Luckily, Wellington is very easy to get to from Taunton. We're literally a 5-minute stretch of A road between each other. And something else I just thought about those dodgy labels that aren't right on the bags. That customer's got 3 things, right? 2 bags of shopping and a case of water. So it should say, so the sticker on each one of those things should say 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. But that customer's now going to look at their shopping and go, why does it say 2 of 7, 6 of 7 and 7 of 7 or whatever it was? Now either another driver has delivered the other 4 bags of shopping, which seems weird. Like, why would that happen? Why would Amazon pay 2 drivers to deliver an order that could very easily be done by 1? Or the packers in Morrisons are just not caring about putting the right helper labels on the right bags, under the impression that the QR code is going to prevent us from giving out the wrong bags anyway, which they will. Thankfully, the Amazon app has no awareness of those helper labels. It doesn't give you the word in the app or anything. But it always seemed to me like, why don't they just put the word in the app that's on the label? That's the easiest way for us to identify the order. And maybe this is why, because they know that the stickers end up on the wrong bags. But it never used to happen. I don't get it. It's only something that started cropping up recently, and if it isn't 2 different drivers delivering different portions of the order each, then I don't really know what's going on. If any of you watching do Morrisons blocks on Amazon Flex, and you've noticed this, or you might know what's going on with this, drop a comment, let me know. Anyway, we are heading on to the stretch of the A38 now that takes us to Wellington. For anyone not from Somerset wondering if the stereotypes are true that there are just tractors everywhere, yeah, there are. Just coming up to drop number 2 now. I think we've delivered to this address before on a video, and I've been here a few times myself before. Delivering this one now with 7 bags. All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot. 2 down, 1 to go. All right, on to the last one. Can see a road closure there that we are already being navigated around, so that's fine. It doesn't look like too much of a delay. Now I'm just arriving at the drop-off location. I've realised that this is also a customer I've delivered to before several times, which always just kind of fills me with a sense of calm. You know, you know who it is. Just a nice way to end the block. Delivering to a regular. Oh, speed scanning. Take care, bye. One thing actually I will commend the Amazon Flex app for is that we don't have to check ID if the customer is clearly over 25, unlike the food delivery apps that make you ID everybody, even your great grandma. It's such a ridiculous rule. Can we not be trusted to make a judgment? I mean, actually, thinking about it, some of the standard of work put out by some of our fellow riders, I wouldn't be too sure. But still, it feels so ridiculous to ask people clearly middle-aged and older for their bloody driving license. I mean, come on. Well, definitely give Amazon Flex a thumbs up for that one. They seem to trust us to be able to make our own judgments just a little bit more than the food delivery apps do. Anyway, we're just getting back on the A38 now. Let's get ourselves back to Taunton now. We're not far, and we'll run those numbers down. We're back at Morrisons. Just made sense to come back here, seeing as for Amazon blocks we always do the expenses depot to depot. And again, for Morrisons blocks we've done pretty well. It was a 1.5 hour block. It took us 1.33, and that also includes coming back to the depot. Just under 21 miles. That cost me £3.02. Insurance 67 pence. That's a net profit of £24.82 for an hourly rate of £18.61. The trend continues. Morrisons blocks continue to consistently pay me much more than food delivery and even Amazon Flex logistics. I've had a few really good logistics blocks, and if you get one of those juicy blocks that takes you like an hour on a 3.5, obviously you make way more than you could on a Morrisons block. But still, if I had to pick one gig job to do over and over again, it's these. So if you're wondering what kind of gig work to get into, if you're curious, in my experience, Amazon Flex, Morrisons blocks, can't go wrong. Anyway folks, thank you for watching as always, and I'll catch you in the next one in a bit.